Tributes have been pouring in for the late legendary actress Lizzy Ovoeme, popularly known as Ovuleria, in the 80s sitcom New Masquerade, as news of her death at the age of 81 filters through the media. Notable actors and filmmakers, including Jide Kosoko, who was a guest actor on the sitcom, Adebayo Salami, Fred Amata, and many others, have taken to different medias to pay glowing tributes to the actress. Ovoeme, who played Ovuleria, the on-screen wife of the lead character, the Chief Zebediah Okoroigwe Nwogbodo alias 430 in the Rested sitcom, reportedly died in her home in Port Harcourt, Rivers State capital. According to a statement released by the family, the statement reads, "Friends, fans, colleagues, the family of the legendary actress Elizabeth Lizzy Ovuleria Ovoeme would like to notify the public, all those who loved her and her work in the New Masquerade, of her passing. Elizabeth Ovuleria Ovoeme will be dearly missed and was extremely loved by her family and also by you, her fans."
But now what happened to him? He was so natty and fainted. See natty faint. Natty put Ojiji for face. Oh really? Huh? Took your eye to saw him. Saw who? Oh. Natty! Now you not call this one for good?
Yes.
What happened to you? You win a raffle.
Oh, Natty and wonderful. I not you who was told me to increment your chop money. Second, because cost of Gary I go high mountain day.
Natty.
Yeah, the man who took the extra Gary money. Natty a cultivation cassava in his farm, and I took it to make Gary for sale.
Yes. So Natty. Now you did the first way want to make all that finish for you.
I am now being joined by the Executive Director of the National Film and Video Census Board, Shaibu Hosseini, who had interacted with the late Lizzy Ovoeme during his time as a journalist. Many thanks for joining us on the program, and let me congratulate you on your new position as the Executive Director of the Census Board, seeing as this is your first interview with Entertainment News on Channels Television since your appointment. How is that chair fitting right now, sir?
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here. Well, it's there. I mean, the chair is there for someone to sit on, and to the glory of God, I'm sitting on it today, and we are making best use of the space on the chair, and we are hoping that the confidence that was reposed in our abilities, we'll be able to use it to move the board to greater heights. So it's been good so far. I mean, I've spent just about 2 months in office, and it's looking good. It's looking good.
Well, I believe we will have other opportunities to speak about your plans for the board in the near future. But today's conversation is truly about Lizzy Ovoeme, whom many people know as Ovuleria. The news of her death have brought back nostalgic memories for people who watched her on TV in the 80s and the 90s. For the Gen Zs, however, they are wondering who she was. Could you help us remember her and her famous Ovuleria character from the New Masquerade sitcom?
Well, you see, I mean, when you said a lot of people didn't get the opportunity to see them, it talks a lot about our archiving abilities as an industry. I mean, these are people who starred in some of the best made television series. New Masquerade was one series that we all looked up to. Wherever you were and you listened to and you heard the sick tune, you will run and go and sit down because you want to watch these people entertain you, educate you, and enlighten you. And Lizzy Ovoeme, in fact, her name is Elizabeth, but they cut it short to Lizzy Ovoeme, was one person who played a very major character in that series, which ran on NTA. It was produced in NTA Aba from the beginning, and then, of course, that it was created by the late James Iroha, and they started from Aba, and then they moved the production to Enugu center of the NTA at that time. And Lizzy was one prominent actress In fact, the wife of the lead actor in the series, who was Chief Chika Opala, who played the role of Chief Zebediah alias 430. Lizzy was the wife in the series, and her name in the series was Ovuleria. How they got the name, we should ask. We should find out. Or fortunately, he is no more the creator of the series. That's she was a very prominent actress. You can't have a better edition of that series without her, because she was a major factor. She's the one who stabilizes Zebediah when Zebediah wants to get that. Yeah, when Zebediah is very hot in the series, she's the one who coordinates the two houseboys in the series. One is Gregory, one is Clarus. One principal character is Lizzy Ovoeme. Fantastic professional to the core. She knew the role and she played the role very well. If you see her, you just think that role was written for her. And for a long time, nobody played that role. If you follow the series, you will find out that people try to play Jegede Shokoya at one point. Some people try to play Gregory and Clarus at one point. Some people try to play other roles. But that particular Ovuleria, nobody stood in for her at any point. So there was a character called Ramota in that production, which was earlier played CSN Ibokwe before the Ramota character came. After Chris CSN, somebody played, and so on. And it was difficult to replace Lizzy Ovoeme, that is Ovuleria, in that role. She played the role until that production went off. She was one person that we will really miss. I mean, she died at 81. I think that more than mourn her so much. We will miss her, but I think we should celebrate her because she was one person who was dedicated, committed.
The network is a bit all over the place, but let me see if I could still get one more question in. Why do you suppose that with the success of the new Masquerade, she didn't transition to home video Nollywood of the 90s?
Yeah, I think she was a civil servant. And after the series, it was easy for her, as a civil servant to work on television because they only go for rehearsals, then they shoot, and then she gets back to her work. But the rigor of getting on video is not as working on video because it's almost like 247. You attend auditions, you be on location for days and all that. And at the time, she didn't think that it was something that she wanted to do. She wanted to go back to her job as a civil servant, and she indeed went back to her job and was watching. She had one or two appearances, but I don't think that I don't think that she, at the time that Nollywood was Nollywood, I mean, when they were making productions like 20 productions a week in Nollywood, I don't think she had the energy or she had the time to give in. And she also told me at that time that, the discipline that television had was different from the discipline that, working with them on video at that time had. She really had not patience for the way some of them were making movies back to back and you have be on location for so long. She was comfortable with just going, script has been written, and in their own, there are scripts anyway, but sometimes they allow them to just understand what it is and then they just go, because these are people who are the same characters over years, so they know their nuances, they know when somebody has said something and so on. So she just was comfortable with going back to work as a civil servant at Abia North local government, and then she retired.
The connection wouldn't let us continue. I was going to ask about your plans for archiving old production as the man behind the census decks now, but again, time and bad connection wouldn't permit. I'm sure we will have other opportunities to discuss that and a lot more in the future. Many thanks again for joining us, Tribal Seni, the Executive Director of the National Film and Video Census Board.